when we heard the forecast earlier on, I thought UK would win it. Really did. Even though I think we should have. But the weather did change in front of them as they were coming down through France. We had other birds racing shorter distances in the area, and they had southerly winds. But just in front of the international birds, the wind was changing round all the way, and they never had the southerly help we thought they were going to get. And when they hit the channel, I was hoping it's going to be southeast, and it was northeast. So it put us on more of a level playing field with the French, probably level. But I think we had every opportunity to win it if we'd had a real superstar in there, to be honest.
And did the pigeon come at the time that you expected it?
No, earlier in the day I thought 11 hours, but as the wind changed down through, I thought 12 and a half. Mark Gilbert rang me, he was at Ascot, and he said, what time do you think these birds are going to be back? This was about 3:15, he rang me. And I said, well, I don't think you're going to do 11 hours, I think it'll be 12 and a half hours at the earliest. I said, but they've clocked from Bordeaux around here just after 3. The phone went down, I heard I'm going. And he was gone home in a hurry. Didn't want to hear much about what I had to say about the wind or anything.
That was about 50 mile an hour, wasn't it, the Bordeaux
Yeah,
birds?
he was gone. But they had the helping winds all down through. It was just, we missed those winds by about 3/4 of an hour. They were just changing around in front of them all the way down. I was watching the wind every half an hour, and it was just changing. But we still had every opportunity to win it. Two French pigeons beat us, so fair play to them.
And your first pigeon was a hen?
Yearling hen.
And how did you set that up to?
That was set up for Saints National.
Right.
Along with a few other yearling hens. But on the Thursday morning of basketing, I let them out for a fly, and we had about 3 hours spare to get to the marking station, and I'm afraid they were still flying after 5 hours, so they didn't go. So they booked themselves a ticket to St Vincent, which lucky as it turned out, because otherwise we would have been second national instead of first national. And what was our second pigeon in the international?
8th.
8th. So we would have been 7th international. So what went wrong on
For
Thursday?
one race.
For the right reasons.
Ended up
Blessing in disguise. The hens were raced widowhood, not roundabout, total widowhood to cocks which don't fly out. And they went to Ansenses, the yearling hens, with the National Flying Club 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
Which is about 200 and...
3 weeks before St Vincent, and then they had, I think it was a race 200 odd mile the week before that, and they had 300 odd mile the week before that. They had 3 weeks running. And
Channel races.
And then they had 2 weeks off, where they were going to get 1 week off for Saints. But for St Vincent, I prefer 2 weeks off.
And when the pigeons arrived, what's the procedure you have to go through for verifying with the BICC and the international? How does that work?
We just verify with the BICC, and Carol forwards it all on to the international organisers. And pretty much when the bird comes, straight away after he's gone through, if you're on ETS, you have to clock rubbers, which is a verification rubber. It's not, as some people imagine, because they don't trust ETS. It's always been, before ETS was invented, you always had 2 rubbers, one for your time and one as a verification. You clock your rubbers after your ETS, then you verify with Carol, and you have to clock the rubbers within 10 minutes of the original timing. Then you phone through to Carol within half an hour, and then she forwards it on to the international organisers.
Any wing stamp, if there's any in there?
Yes, always check for wing stamps, because sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't.
And the wing stamping, is that done here or in a...
No, over in Belgium.
Right.
Once the birds have travelled to Belgium, it's out of the UK's hand. They get re-hampered into the Belgian baskets. Each individual bird, the ring number has to be on a crate sheet with the crate number on and the marking station name on it. And then they check each bird's ring number, GB 12345. As they take it out the hamper, they check it against the crate sheet. If it's not on that crate sheet, it comes back to England. It doesn't go into the race.
Right. And when you've got your time, you've verified, do you then go on to Pippa and put it onto the website for the
We
international?
do, and if you don't have a computer, Carol would also do that for you. It's not compulsory, but it's very good because it gives you a good idea how the race is panning out.
Makes the race more interesting.
Yes, especially for those who aren't competing but are still interested in the
People all
racing.
over the world follow them.
Yes, when it goes on, you think, whoopee! Yeah, you think, wow, brilliant. So,
But then you have the further flyers.
yes, and
to
then you're
consider.
watching it anxiously. After the initial euphoria, you're then watching it anxiously, just waiting to see a little red dot come on, and then on the leaderboard that it flashes up in red. The results on within the last 10 minutes are always in red, and you're just looking and waiting to see something pop up in front of yours. Which,
John Smell popped up with a very good pigeon in the second.
yes, John Smell
Split
from
hard,
Wales.
we were laying first and second national. We clocked 2 minutes past 7, I think, or something like that. 2 minutes past 7.
And so the northern flying pigeons have still got plenty of time.
Yeah.
And what was the wind in the map?
In England, it was south, so the further they went,
The faster
the
the
faster
velocity
they could
would be.
fly. So the further flyers definitely had an advantage. I know the birds get more tired, but it was quite strong south wind here, so
They could have had an international winner in Leicester last weekend.
the right bird, they definitely
Yeah, I was
could
just going to
have.
say, if we got the
If
pigeons.
Chris
Yes.
Sutton had descent and had the right bird in,
Yeah, we could have been interviewing him, and that would have been fun. There'd have been more
no.
bottles on the table if we'd been interviewing
no,
Chris Sutton.
not if we were second, it wouldn't have been fun.